is the, I guess, intro clip to another vlog. I'm gonna try and update every day. So let's do this. So I wasn't wrong when I said that His Immortal Majesty would be finished within the week. It's already Thursday of August, what day is it? The 10th? It is August 10th, and I'm already on chapters 34 and 35, which are the two last chapters of this book, and I think I've already gotten all of the consistency issues solved. I might have to do a few more tweaks in chapters 34 and 35, but I'm just gonna quickly look over them to see if anything needs fixed. And I will... oh, I'll also have to fix some dialogue stuff, just basically how it looks. Some of it needs to be italicized for something involving Sterling. So I just need to italicize some dialogue between him and the spirits of his teeth, because in my universe, the vampires can speak to the spirits of their teeth. So their teeth can basically talk to them, talk to the vampires. And they each have a male and female voice. So I need to fix some of the dialogue with those two voices that are basically in Sterling's head. But that's not going to take too long at all. I just need to, Control F and see where the dialogue is and stuff like that. It's not gonna be that hard to find and solve, so I should be done pretty quickly. And I'm only on chapter 10 of Her Eternal Reign, so I would like, as much as I would like to start drafting Her Eternal Reign, I can't until the outline is finished. That way I know how the story is going to end exactly, and like where it's gonna go from where I'm at right now. But luckily I do have Dearest C that I'm still drafting. I'm almost done with that. So it might be a bit of an issue, but I've been outlining pretty quickly. So I might be able to keep up with both outlining and drafting. So it's not going to be that big of an issue. At least I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. And if I am unable to focus on drafting, I can always develop some of an unknown contemporary romance, or I can develop some more of my contemporary fantasy thriller, so I can do that as well. Gotta love project hopping. I mean, I guess this experience is pretty fun. I have a lot of stuff that I can do in the meantime while I'm waiting for another project to get finished with whatever phase it's in. So I think project hopping is for me, especially with keeping certain projects in different phases. So I think that might be what I'm going for. Just keep different projects in different phases and then work on those phases while another project is in either drafting or outlining phase. I think that'll work for me a lot better than drafting multiple projects at a time, because that might be a bit stressful, to say the least. So we'll see how the rest of this week goes as far as my projects go. And I might give some basic life updates here and there, but who knows? We'll see how the rest of the week treats me. I like how I said I was gonna try to film every day and then didn't. Hi friends, so it is now August 15th and I do have quite a few updates. So Friday, I think after I filmed Thursday's clips and everything, Friday morning I went on a date with the boyfriend. He's, so far as I know, he's done with overtime, so he's no longer working on Fridays, which sometimes he'll take me out on Fridays and Saturdays, but he can't on Sundays because I have church, etc, etc. I'm usually busy those days. But Friday, he took me out, and he and I went to a nearby clothing store where I only got a few things, but with a discount, with the enticement of a discount, I ended up spending $145 in that store, or at least he ended up spending that much on me. Just me, and because it was a women's clothing store, so there wasn't really much for him. I'm not going to reveal what exactly he got me because one of them, actually a few of them, would break YouTube's rules, so unfortunately I will not be showing you guys, except for this, the overalls. I did get those, and I wanted to wear them today, so that's what I am wearing. They are part of my outfit for the day, or OTD, and I am happy. Saturday, though, I ended up having to change plans because he and I were gonna go out again, and so I had to change plans a little bit. I had to put some money onto my card, and then I had to go way out into I want to say a trailer park, but I don't think it actually is. I had to go to my niece and nephew's other grandma's house, way out of town. I had to go out of town for a little bit, and I had to help set up for my niece and nephew's birthday party. And so I helped set up with that. I got to see my niece, got to see my nephew, and I had so much fun stuffing the piñata because it didn't come pre-stuffed. So we got it, and we got all the candy and stuff, and we just stuffed it as full as we could with anything and everything that was edible or toys. And so I helped set up with that, and then I had to go to work, obviously, because it was a Saturday. And unfortunately, I was told last minute, and I don't do too well with last minute plans because I am a working adult, so I can't just cancel my work schedule the same day that I discover these plans. So the same day, not yesterday, but Saturday, I discovered that there was going to be a birthday party, and so I went to help set up, and my dad asked me, why couldn't you cancel work? I was like, because I was told last minute. So if someone hadn't told me last minute, I probably would have taken the day off and, celebrated my niece and nephew's birthday. My niece turns 7 this year, and I unfortunately couldn't stay to help celebrate the full party because I was told last minute. I was told at 9:30 that morning, and I don't do too well with last minute plans because I work, and I can't cancel work last minute because then it might take them forever to find someone to cover me or anything like that. And I don't have another coworker's number on speed dial. I don't have any of my coworkers' numbers on speed dial, so it would have posed a difficult issue for my workplace. Sunday wasn't that eventful. I mean, I showed up to Julie Z Author's live stream, and I had a really good time at the last part after the last sprint, because they do 2:45s, and after the second one, we had a really good time because Jess hadn't gotten any sleep in like 2 days. So she was very, very loopy, and it was the best thing. It gave everyone in the chat serotonin. It was hilarious. Monday, yesterday, I ended up doing, I guess, a deep clean of my kitchen. It's not really deep clean because I didn't sweep or mop the floors, but I did clean off the stove. I cleaned the counters, I washed the dishes, or I ran the dishwasher, and I kept an eye on the leak underneath the sink. And yes, it is the dishwasher causing these leaks, and now I know where it's coming from. So luckily there wasn't as much water this time, but also I had a bowl. I had a giant bowl underneath to protect the bottom of the cabinet from all the water damage and stuff. So that was super helpful. But now I know where the leak is coming from, and I can probably have somebody fix it. I just gotta let the landlady know about it. I just gotta let her know, and then she'll tell the maintenance guy, and we'll figure everything out. But anyway, other than those, last night I also drafted more of Dearest C. I ended up starting chapter 16 last night, later on in the night, and then I also, what else did I do? So I ended up getting up to chapter 16, which is the second to last chapter in Dearest C. So that was exciting. And then today I finished it. Dearest C is now, it'll now be put into the revision section of my bulletin board, which I'm sure you've seen in another clip or a couple of them, but I will put it in the revision section now. But until like everything else has been like, until my other 2 tasks, I have 2 last tasks for August, but until those 2 are finished, I'm not going to touch Dearest C. I'm going to let it breathe, let it sit, let it percolate, and do all that stuff before I even start revising it. As soon as I was done pretty much with Dearest C, I started trying to come up with titles for that new contemporary romance that I was working on. And for those of you who don't know, early on in July, it was on one of Morgan Lee's streams, we as a collective, as in JC, Des, Laura, Nia, and a few others I can't remember, we all came up with a romance that would appease JC's want for death. And she basically wanted a romance where somebody died, essentially. Not any of the main characters, just like something involving death, a character death. And so we all just came up with a romance beginning at a funeral. So that's essentially the gist of what it is. I have the main character, Aurora Woods, going to a relative's funeral. I can't remember, but she goes to a relative's funeral. She has her ex there, and then she has her nosy mother. And so her ex tries to embarrass her at this funeral in front of her nosy mother, and Aurora's boss, who is also attending a funeral at the same funeral home, he comes in, swoops in, and saves the day. And it's a fake relationship type deal. So it's a fake dating, forced proximity type of romance beginning at a funeral for their respective relatives. For him, his mother has died, and so it's his grandmother on his father's side that is very nosy. So they both have nosy relatives. For her, it's her mom. For him, it's his grandma. his paternal grandma. So there's that whole thing, and I'm just wondering what to call it. I'm fine with it being a working title. It just needs to be like good enough to where I can stick it on the cover and, you know, have something, you know, in the works, you know, for conversation, for mock covers, because I like to create my own covers through Canva and stuff, and also to just like have something to work with, you know, even if it changes later on, if I come up with something better, like what happened with His Immortal Majesty, it's still fine. I just need something to work with. So with that being said, go ahead and list your guys' ideas into the comments below. I am all for suggestions. I already have an extensive list of possible titles that might interest me, but none of them are really like popping out at me. It's just like, oh, this could be good, this also could be good, you know, this is possible, you know. I just have a long list already, so I'm all for suggestions on what you guys have. I do like to create titles before I even start drafting because of the whole mock cover thing, and it makes conversations easier, and it honestly makes it easier for me to focus more on the actual story inside behind the cover and stuff. So it gives me time to let my mind rest as far as title goes and just focus and hone in on the story itself. And it makes it so I don't have to stress about it later on in the writing process, because I do like to create titles before I start drafting to ease my future self of that stress, unless future me wants to change it. But as far as writing goes, that's really all I have for an update for you guys, as well as a little bit of life. The boyfriend and I are gonna go out on a date night tonight, so I might not be at Nia's stream, but I don't know, we'll see. I might be there in the beginning as per usual, and then the boyfriend calls in the middle of that and, you know, asks, hey, where do you want to go and stuff. The neighbor is home now, so I am going to shut up so I don't disturb him too much. I don't know what's going on, but I don't want to disturb him too much. So I will see you guys in the next video, whenever that is. Bye bye. So I forgot to tell you guys something yesterday. It's a new day, so therefore a new outfit. I ended up getting like 6 new books over the weekend as well. I didn't buy them. Someone leaves them at the laundromat for people to just take if they want them, because she doesn't want them anymore, so she basically leaves them on the tables that we use to fold our laundry stuff, and she just lets people take them. She essentially donates them to the laundromat and just lets people have them. I took all 6 of the ones that I found. I took all 6 of those home, and of the 6, 5 of them I know for sure are romances. This 3rd one right here, that one, I don't know if it is a romance. I'm just not sure, but I know it's the 2nd book in a series called Chesapeake Bay, and a lot of these are by Nora Roberts, I think. Yeah. This one, and then these 3 are by Nora Roberts. The rest are by authors I have never heard of. So those are going to be exciting to read whenever I get to them. And as far as like my tasks go, because I forgot to update you guys on that as well because my neighbor just got home. I was going to do 4 more tasks this time, but now it's 3 because the 4th task included outlining Spirit of the Earth, which is the 2nd book in an old fantasy series that I had been, kind of messing with. But I realized Spirit of the Earth I have planned as my nano project, or as one of my nano projects, so that's not really going to be a good idea for me to finish outlining that when I have Preptober to, start doing that. So for now, it's 3 tasks instead. So it's finish developing The Dark Knight, which is my contemporary fantasy thriller. And then I have the finish developing the contemporary romance, which I still need titles for. I haven't come up with anything so far yesterday, hence why I asked in the previous clip. But there's those 2, and then there's start drafting Her Eternal Reign, which I'm not going to do until later in the month. I'm thinking the 20th maybe, and we'll see how fast I start drafting this thing from there. But anyway, I am going to leave this video here, and then I will await your guys' comments for title suggestions. I'm up for anything at this point, I just need a working title. So I'm up for any of your suggestions. I will write them down as soon as I get them. And I hope to see you guys in the next video, whenever that is. Bye bye.